magically he just died
What?
at age
Yeah.
46 or 47. Hello, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. If it's your first time, welcome. If you're coming back for your poison, we're glad you're back. And we have a few things to cover today, but we're super excited about all the comments we got on the Putin video. If you haven't watched that, take a look and see
Yep.
the Tucker interview with Putin.
Yep.
And there's a lot of haters on there. It's so funny how that sparked people to comment. And you could tell there's a lot of trolls. There's a lot
Yep.
of people who are just going to get on anything that doesn't match their opinion, and they're just going to be hateful. And I always think when you do that, you're just insecure about your own intelligence. That's what you
Right.
do. So we
Yeah.
love that though,
Yep.
because all that does is help our channel.
There's a study that came out this week I thought was really funny. Was they were saying since 2000 that the attention span in the United States has dropped by 50%. So now the attention span here is like 8.6 seconds or something.
No, I'm sure it's seconds. Let's
Okay.
let's move on to some of the things that went on this week. One thing that really caught our attention was right after we posted that Tucker Putin interview.
Yep.
He immediately showed his colors. Putin immediately showed his colors. Put a political prisoner in. Well, he had already put him in prison. Already attempted poisoning him, and magically he just died
What?
at age
Yeah.
46 or 47.
Went out for a walk and came back and just keeled over dead. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
I heard that. Okay, I only heard this from one source, so, and a reliable source, but I have to say, but it might be something worth looking up. But I heard he got moved to a different prison before
Oh,
this
really?
happened. Hmm.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
Putin is not a good guy. He's
No,
not. He
no.
knows how to present. And those of you who love Putin, I'm just like, he learned how to gain trust. He learned how to
Yep.
talk
Yep.
in a language that gains trust. And so
It,
when you cave into that, I noticed myself kind of liking him at the beginning of that interview, thinking, oh, he looks healthy. He seems like he's all there. He's making sense. And then I realized, I was like, wait, okay, wait, this guy is not a good guy. No matter what you label yourself is irrelevant if you still function in a way that shows you're communist.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, they can label themselves something else, but the way they function, and yeah, they have guns in Russia. Guess who has the
Yep.
guns? The
Right,
military. So
right,
you're an idiot if you
right,
think that the citizens have guns.
right.
That's just ridiculous to think that. It's not even true.
And the main thing is we were trying to say that it's, obviously Russia's different than America. America, we have a Second Amendment to our Constitution that guarantees that we can own firearms, that we
Right,
can protect ourselves, and that is put in place to be a deterrent to a tyrannical government. Everybody misses that too.
right,
It is to protect the citizens against a tyrannical government as much as from the guy breaking in your house or trying to steal your car, whatever. That was the point we're trying to make. And our rights are guaranteed by our Constitution. And right now, our own government and people in our government are showing signs of being communist. A few of them. There are
right.
a few people that I believe in the Democrat Party are communist,
Hmm.
and they are trying to take our guns away from us because they know that that's one way that they can take over the country and
Right.
over the citizenship.
Yeah,
And the thing too is about socialism, and everybody's going, "Oh well, the government gives you this and gives you that," but it takes away your individual freedom and your individual right to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So you cannot have the government in control of anything like that because then you are not free.
exactly. And let's be really clear. The government doesn't give you anything. It doesn't magically just
Takes you
arrive
to
out of the air. They don't wave a magic wand and it appears.
no.
What they do is they tax the hell out of you
Mm-hmm.
and use your own money to
Right.
give you things that you may not even want.
Thing too. My older son, was talking about if you really want to see an exercise in socialism in America, look at the prison system.
Oh,
because everybody wears the same clothes,
right.
everybody eats the same food, they have the same kind of housing
And
and
they're all
everything
piled
else.
up on top of each other. And that's
Right.
another thing that the socialists love is to
Mhm.
make you that 15 minutes from,
Right.
within 15 minutes of everything, right? You have to
Right. Right.
stay
Right.
close together. It's so much easier to control a group that's tight together than to
Right.
control people who are scattered out and having freedom. It is all about political prisoners, and we have them in
Yes,
our country. So
we
there
do.
you go.
We do.
There we,
We do.
our current president is, I mean, he's trying to put his number one opponent in prison right now. He's
Right.
trying
Right.
at every
Well,
angle. And thank God that Trump has the money he does to defend himself.
right.
And he's raising crazy amounts of money for his
Yeah.
defense too, because America, one thing we are great at is we root for the underdog. And
Right.
they're creating such an underdog with Trump, that
Well,
it's
plus,
causing
I
people to
think,
go, wait, what's going on?
and I think people are waking up to say, hey, if they can do that to this man, what could they do to me?
Trudeau, he thinks he's the king of Canada, and
Right.
oh my goodness, he's such a horrible human being, but
He is. He
he's
is.
taking Palestinians and putting them at our northern border. And
Oh, and oh,
right
yeah.
across from Washington, which I am very familiar with, I have family there. Those borders are like leaking sieves.
Mhm.
People come across
And
those all the
then on
time.
top of that, Biden has declared that for the next 18 months, any Palestinian that comes into this country, legally or illegally, will not be deported. It's deferred
Mm.
deportation. He's put it in place for the next 18 months,
Well, what's the difference?
specifically
They're
for
all
the
coming across
Palestinians.
our border right now anyway,
I know that's, but
right? So
again,
what's the
it's
difference?
just
And
because
hey,
we
let's
think they're
be
going to vote.
100% clear. This is Biden's fault.
It is
So when he sits
absolutely.
there and says, give me more power, BS.
Well, he has the power to shut the border
He
down.
does.
He could
He
just go and
does.
say,
He
exec,
doesn't need
shut
anyone to
it
give
down.
it to him. He's got it. He
Right.
refuses to. This
Right.
problem with our border is Biden's problem. This is
It
not
is.
Trump's problem. This is not the
Mm,
Republicans' problem, except for they aren't adamant enough and forceful enough to keep this in front of the public. And speaking of Palestinians, the shooter at Joel Olstein's church,
yep.
that just happened right after we talked too. And
Right.
she and I don't understand the whole Jeffrey thing with her. I don't know if she was transgender. I think she was just using that as an alias, but she had the Palestinian bumper sticker on her gun on her
On a
rifle.
gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she now I heard she said Allah Akbar, but I don't know if she did that.
I heard
I
that
don't know
too,
that.
but they've kind of
Um,
downplayed that.
yeah, who knows?
The
I mean,
first
that would
things
be
that
a
came out, the
parishioner
first,
that would hear that, but
yeah, and it was the first on-site people that, reported. And of course, then they got squashed after the first day.
right,
So,
right. And how did they take care of that? How did they
yeah,
take her down with a gun?
two security guards who took
Yep.
her down. Yep.
And
And
they were not on duty.
uh-uh.
So really they were acting as citizens
Hmm.
at that point.
Right.
So I think to myself, and she could have killed so many people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So sad. And what was she doing? Using a human shield. She took
Her
I don't
own
know if it was her
child, her own,
son. Is it her
it was,
son?
yes, it was her own 7-year-old
7-year-old
child that
son,
she, hmm
using him as a shield, knowing that chances are someone's not going to shoot her with a child with her. This is
yeah.
so hideous. And then you have the shootings in
Oh, at
was that Atlanta?
the
Where was that?
Chiefs, it
Chiefs.
was
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that's right.
Kansas
Kansas.
City. Yeah,
Yeah.
their parade to, celebrate their victory. And
And
that
when
one
that
was
first
another.
happened, I couldn't even find out what they were. I couldn't tell if they were male, female,
Oh, well,
if they were 50 years old, or if they were, 10 years old. I could not find any information on that. I was like, who did this? Who did this?
right.
They said
Well,
three people,
now,
but they wouldn't even say what gender they were, what sex they were.
and
And I was
it
like,
was
what
kind of
is
weird,
going on with this? And I
and
mean, like, I didn't find out until like an hour after. So I was like searching all over
me
because I
too.
thought
And
maybe it would be another maybe terrorist attack.
my thought is that if they were white, Trump supporting kids or
Right.
something, conservatives, they would be naming them and they would be telling all about them.
Yeah. I pretty much knew that they weren't Caucasian because I knew if they were Caucasian, that would be the first thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'd be tied to Trump somehow. Like
Hmm.
whether they
Immediately.
were or not, it didn't matter. That's always
Right.
the MO with the media.
Right
So I
wing.
knew
It would
they
always
weren't
be right
that.
wing.
Yeah.
But this is my opinion, everybody. I
Right.
don't have any.
And I can guarantee you those guns were not legal.
Oh, no, no, no.
I mean, and of course, we haven't heard a word about that. Not a
Mm-mm.
word.
Yeah,
Not
oh,
a
well,
word.
yeah, we have heard a word from, all the mouthpieces about gun control in America
Right.
again.
Right. If that was in
That's their,
Texas, he would have been dead on the spot. I mean,
oh,
those
yeah.
three or two or whatever would have been dead on the spot.
Yep.
I mean, there've
Yep.
been so many people that would have just taken him out. And hey,
Right.
kudos to the guy who tackled that one. I think there was two men that
Mhm.
tackled the
Yeah. Yeah.
terrorist,
The
one of the
shooters.
shooters. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
running in the crowd.
Yeah.
Except for the guy was running past him, so he was not
Wow.
really in any danger. He went from
Mhm.
behind him and tackled him down. So
Well,
I
good.
think he was just a man. I think we
Yeah.
just don't have very many men left, that will do that because people will whip out their phones and start taping everything, right? They'll
Right.
just start,
Right. Right. Right.
I can get some likes or I can get some
Yeah. Yeah.
dislikes
Yeah.
on
15 minutes of
YouTube.
fame. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that guy who tackled that kid, Texas tough 100%,
Yep. Yep.
didn't need someone to tell him to do something, wasn't in any imminent danger because the kid was already past him and
Mhm.
he took it
Did the
upon
right thing.
himself to
He
save other
just
people. Yep.
he did the right thing.
So Texas tough, award to that man, and I don't know his name.
Yes.
And the other one, there was another man that jumped in with him.
Mhm.
So there, it really took two of them to hold him down. So, it
Right.
just makes me so irritated when you have young kids. I don't know what their past is. If it is gang related, probably have those guns illegally, and immediately they go to taking guns away from legal, law
Mhm.
abiding citizens. I
Mhm.
just go crazy with that. Just enforce the existing laws.
Right.
Just enforce the laws that are on the books right now.
Well, and that ties into the immigration.
Uh,
We have laws on the books and have had since this country was founded about immigration. They ignore the law. If you would just apply the law as we've got it right now, you wouldn't have this problem.
and
Yeah, well, and you've got Christopher Wray saying that the terrorist attack is imminent.
right? Yeah, yeah. If the FBI is saying this, and Christopher Wray, which is one of the worst FBI directors
Oh yeah,
ever,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and with him, he's not even going to tell us if anything's going on. Basically, he's
Mm-mm.
going to lie about it. He's so politically driven and
Right,
so
right.
protective of our uh, president's misdeeds.
Uh-huh.
If he's saying that, I
Mm-hmm.
think we better take note. But again, Biden just disappearing and
Right, right.
basically out of the public focus when all this is going on in our country
Mm-hmm.
because he
Right,
needs
right.
his naps. And honestly, I think they're doing something medically to rejuvenate him. I mean, just the fact that he's like finally people are questioning his mental capacity and he
Mm-hmm.
gets all irritated, which that's definitely a sign. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that can be a human sign too. That's a human sign that you get irritated when
Defensive.
someone comes
Yeah.
against you, right? But this is the difference. He's a politician and he hasn't really ever done that before. If you go back on his other stuff, he doesn't get in people's faces and get all irritated when they come against him, like immediately like that. So this is kind of a newer thing. And then on top of that, right after that, he goes to leave, which I didn't see this until recently. He goes to leave that meeting, that press conference, and he comes back. And that's when he just loses it. He can't even read
Really?
his own whatever he's like presenting at the time. And I think that John Pierre right now, when she's being asked about it, it's like she's running out of answers.
Oh
Her
yeah, yeah,
big book
yeah.
isn't giving the all the excuses for him.
Right, right.
And there's a lot said about her, but she's got to have the toughest job in the country. She's got to make
Really.
all the excuses for Biden. I mean,
But anyway, they said something about Trump getting a cognitive test.
oh right,
And Trump said, "Cool, let's
bring
do
it
it
on,
now." Yeah, I said, "Let's do
bring it
it.
on.
Let's do it."
Yep.
And he passed with flying colors.
Hello.
Now it's come out that Biden is supposed to have his yearly physical, and a cognitive test will not be part of
Of
it.
course, of course.
And and
Absolutely. That's
and
who's
to
running
me,
our country. That's
yeah,
who has a finger on the nuclear button right there.
right,
Thank
right,
you. We need better leadership. We
right.
need to hold them accountable. We need to get
Yes,
Texas tough. And you
yes.
know what? You're talking about two Texas tough chicks. You can write all your hate on our comments. We don't care. Do it.
Well, and we're talking about your personal integrity
Yes.
to say, I see my country going to complete hell, and
Right.
I'm going to stand up and say,
Yes.
I'm going to be like, Remember the Alamo.
Yep.
Come and take it.
Yep.
Come and take
Come
it.
and take it, and
So,
not be intimidated by anyone. That's
no.
really being Texas tough, is that no one can come at me to intimidate me. We are so glad you're here. We really appreciate all the great positive comments we've gotten too. We God
We
bless
don't.
you all of you. Get Texas tough if you're not already. Get
Yep.
Texas tough. We're heading into some fierce times right now, and we're glad you came along on the ride with us, and we'll see you
Come
next time.
back. See you next time. Bye. Yep.
That one just got on the wrong algorithm as far as like it went to a whole bunch of people that were like trolling and